All right. Welcome to the third of a series of the Ag Ed 101 Learning Roundtable Conversation. Today's topic is going to be long-term versus short-term planning in your program, and should be a great discussion. All right. Joining us today is Mr. Jeff Papke. I had the unique experience of starting my agricultural teaching career about the same time that Jeff did, and I remember a nice little yellow dog ceremony down in Southern Oregon together. So he's worked multiple jobs, wore multiple hats, and should have a great background for helping to present this portion of our series on the long-term and short-term planning. So it'll be exciting. A little bit about what we're doing. It ties into the series. So we started with these, getting our program started, now really putting pencil to paper and writing down some things to get a little more strategic in our planning. And there's kind of the overview of the day. So go ahead and tie in nicely, especially to the December and holiday season, work-life balance. And that's important to all, as we know, working through our careers and trying to keep everything. So again, we'll just do a quick review of the three-circle model to keep everybody in the loop and on the same page. So classroom and laboratory, contextual, inquiry-based, and interactive is our goal there, keeping it student-centered. We move into FFA, organizations that help members develop premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through multiple avenues through that leadership aspect of it. And then you move into supervised agricultural experience, programs that allow you to apply knowledge skills through experiential service and work-based learning opportunities. And that's really applying, getting down and dirty and making things really make sense to the students. So that's the three-circle model, which is intracurricular model and kind of the foundation of everything we work through. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. Take it over.
Thank you, Toby. Appreciate it. Got a great introduction, and it's great to be part of the profession and to be able to see folks that you started with. And Toby he sells himself short. He's a fantastic ag teacher, and we're very lucky to have him as our president. I want to start off, I'm a visual learner. So sometimes you think when you look at other folks, the grass is always greener. Maybe this is what comes to mind when you look at other people's programs. You're thinking everything's just exactly the way that they think it should go. And yet when you think that other people look at your program, maybe this comes to mind. Maybe this is what you think other people think about yours. Are you really actually planning, or are you just kind of shooting from the hip? But honestly, when we think about it, maybe this is something that holds us back from planning. We think about, is it an emergency? Do we need to do it? And sometimes when you explain your plan to people, they just do the old face palm, and it's like, I don't need to deal with this. I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip. But honestly, this is kind of how we all feel. If you're an Office fan, I love that movie. It would really be great if things went according to plan. And sometimes we just feel like we keep planning and planning and planning and never putting anything to action. So today I want to talk a little bit about how do we actually get it into action, what can we do, what can we think about, how do we start surviving, how do we start planning, and how do we feel like we've got control of our program versus the program having control of us. So really when we think about planning, we're talking about where are we at and where do we want to be. We've all driven somewhere before. We've picked how we're going to get there. We kind of figured out our stops along the way. I think that's what we need to think about with our programs. We need to plan because we need to know how much money we need. We need to know where are we going to be putting our resources. Because our resources aren't just money, it's people resources. It's, where are we going to be devoting our time and our energy within our program. We are community-based programs. And so when we think about the student needs, the school needs, the community needs, how are we developing a program around meeting those needs and the ever-changing needs that come down the line with different standardized testing or different ideas on how we need to achieve a more graduation rate and less dropout. We also think about our longevity and our sanity as advisors. If we just constantly live day to day, you're going to burn out. And so a plan is going to help us develop not just our program, but also develop us as a professional. We need to be thinking about not just teaching our students, but teaching ourselves. How are we going to grow with the profession? And when we have a good, well-planned out program, that's going to help gain and garner more school and community support. So if we think about immediate, so we think about planning, where do you even start? One of the things is a single calendar. And when we talk about a single calendar, it's putting everything in your life on one calendar. Don't try to keep 3 or 4. This is my FFA calendar. This is my school calendar. Try to keep those together, because what you're going to find is you're going to be missing things if you don't. And when you can put it on a calendar, I think that's really going to show you how much you're doing. And sometimes putting it all on a calendar can also help you learn a very important word, and that's no. It's okay to say that. Outside of that, it's looking at your course curriculum. You know, very first thing is we're walking into a program and we're trying to get started. It's, here's what I'm going to teach. Do I have lesson plans for the year? Do I know where I'm going to take my students? Do I know what I want to be teaching? Does that mean you're always going to plan it every day? No, things happen, but we need to take a look. Can we make it through the year? When we look at testing requirement dates, I put this in here thinking about what are you doing within the school. Our school at Mountain View, we like to do surveys. This coming Thursday, we've got an hour devoted just to surveys for students. But we need to know those kinds of things. So as we're planning a curriculum, if you're planning out a lab and you're trying to get everything coordinated, you want to know when these hiccups are going to come down the schedule. It's also good to know what's a requirement of your school. Do you have to give semester exams, quarter exams? What does that look like? And so as you're planning the curriculum, it's not just what am I teaching, but how am I evaluating and am I meeting the needs of the requirements? And then what does the school and admin require? Do you have to provide lesson plans weekly, monthly for everything you're teaching? Do you have a mentor you're supposed to work with? How is that going to look? After we get that handled, it's